How's it going, guys? Martyn here, and today I want to talk about my predictions for Season 9 of RWBY. As we all know, if you're a big fan of RWBY, the show is up and down at the best of times, so I really feel Season 9 has to really hit all the best notes and really needs to get it right, or it's going to lose even more viewers than it probably has. So what I'm going to be talking about today is not going to be a complete overhaul breakdown of what I think every individual episode of Season 9 is going to be. I'm just going to fire a few key points that I think potentially will happen. They're more kind of just like my opinion. I don't think they probably will happen because we know how much the team at RWBY like to subvert our expectations and just throw curveballs in there and do their own thing. But for me personally, this is what makes sense to me, what should happen in Season 9. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm just going to fire a few points what I think it should be. So the first point I just want to fire off is I think we're going to see a lot of returning characters from the earlier seasons, i.e. Sun and Neptune, Team Coffee I think will make a reappearance, and Raven being the key here. For me personally, I think Raven is going to be very important this season. My prediction is that Crow, who is, a very strong believer that the girls are going to be still alive after the events of Season 8, will seek out his sister Raven, knowing full well that her semblance is the Kindred Link, which allows her to create a portal to Yang. Obviously this isn't going to be easy because we know how cynical and selfish Raven is a lot of the time, and just plain how unfriendly she is. But obviously Crow being her brother, I think if anyone's going to make her reconsider, it's going to be him. And at the end of the day, as cruel and spiteful as Raven is, Yang is her daughter, and there must be some sort of even minor maternal instinct there that will eventually push her to go and help Crow find the four girls. And as well as her semblance being key this season, being Kindred Link, the fact that she's the Spring Maiden and she's just kind of not been in the series for 2-3 seasons now. It's been a while, it really has. Kind of a big deal being one of the maidens at the moment. It's just strange that the Spring Maiden just hasn't been about for a while, so I think now is the right time for her to come back into the series and be a mainstay. However, with her reappearance in Season 9, I do also see her unfortunately being killed off, and I can see her passing on the Spring Maiden ship to Yang. I feel now, being Season 9, we're quite far into the story of RWBY. I'd like to see things sort of not wrapping up, but we've got to the peak of the story now. We're fully aware of who the main threat is, fully aware of most of the artifacts now, and most of the maidens. I'll get onto that in a bit. You'd think within the next 2 or 3 seasons this show should be wrapping and concluding. So I do feel at this point, it's about time that our main 4 girls start obtaining the maiden ships. So what I see this season is that Raven will unfortunately meet her demise, and Yang will take on the Spring Maiden ship. I also think there's a strong possibility that even though Winter has only just been given the Winter Maiden ship, I think possibly by the end of the season we will probably see her perish either to Tyrion maybe, and her power will be passed on to Weiss. My next point for Season 9 is that I think this season we will finally reveal who the Summer Maiden is. It's so strange at the moment that we have been revealed 3 of the maidens and the Summer Maiden is still very elusive to us. In my opinion, I would really like to see it be Ruby's mum, Summer Rose, which she's supposedly dead, but my theory is that maybe she faked her death to protect the maiden ship from Salem. Maybe a plan made by Ozpin. It was just kind of like a surefire way that if everyone that was close to Summer thought she was dead, and even they believed it, that Salem would just would never suspect Summer Rose of being the maiden and would never find it and would never allow Cinder to obtain all 4 maiden ships. So either this, or I think maybe a very, very close friend of Summer Rose's, who will connect with RWBY and tell stories of her mum, and maybe even pass the maiden ship on to her eventually. However, I do feel that RWBY probably won't get a maiden ship until about Season 10. Like I say, how I see it will be Season 9, Yang and Weiss will get maiden ships, and then Season 10 we will see RWBY obtain it either from supposed Summer Rose, or friend of Summer Rose in my theory, and then probably later season 10 we will see Blake defeat Cinder and she will take the full Maidenship. This then leading into season 11, which could be, the big finale where we have our 4 main girls being the 4 maidens taking on Salem and fighting her army. But I am getting ahead of myself. Season 9 in my opinion is set up really well for us to refocus on our main 4 girls, with them being reunited but at the same time being separated for the rest of the main cast. I feel it's been so long since our main 4 have been had the spotlight, and now finally we can have some conversations that we've kind of been void of since the Beacon days. Maybe we'll finally get a conversation between Ruby and Blake, which I can't ever recall us having since probably season 1 or 2, and maybe even conversations between Weiss and Yang, which they've been non-existent really. I think this season will be a really good season to see the four girls really just get some more time for us to delve into their characters, really get some heart-to-hearts, maybe catch up on what's been going on, maybe even confirm Bumblebee. It's basically confirmed, but they haven't just yet come out and said it. I think it's going to happen personally. But yeah, I think the fandom has been, crying out for some main 4 cast. At the end of the day, the show is called RWBY. I expect to see more Ruby, Weiss, Blake and Yang, but don't get it twisted. As much as I love our main 4 girls, and I think they should be the focus of the show, I've been so glad these last few seasons that characters like Crow and Nora have had so much screen time and have had so much character development, because they are fantastic characters, and you could probably argue and push that they're more interesting than a couple of our main 4 girls. But like I said, the show is called RWBY, and I hope this season we can just refocus on our main 4 and really just get some character development going on there and kind of rekindle those Beacon days. And speaking of supporting characters, my last point for season 9 will be that I believe that with Emerald joining the team and Salem obviously realising that she has betrayed her side, that I think Salem is going to get a whole lot more psychological on the gang. My guess is being that knowing Emerald has a tight bond between her and Mercury, I think maybe Salem and Tyrion will use Mercury to kind of fake changing sides and go undercover, saying, oh look, I didn't agree with what Salem was doing, I'm going to come join you guys, and it's going to be a bit uneasy with Winter and all that, but I think Emerald will vouch for him and he will get in, and then he will start feeding information, maybe even assassinate Winter, and that's how the Maidenship gets freed up for Weiss. However, I do feel that partway through this ruse, I think Mercury will come clean, and because he doesn't agree with Salem, and you have a bit of a change of heart, I think ultimately that Tyrion will then eventually kill Mercury. But I would also love to see Crow get his own back on Tyrion and get some sweet revenge after the whole Clover incident last season. It would be great to see him either very badly wound Tyrion or eventually kill him, but with all the killing going on, there's going to be no characters left for season 10 in the way I'm predicting it. Anyway guys, I thank you for listening to this short audio. Please leave your predictions for season 9 of RWBY down in the description. I'd love to hear them. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.